Hello and welcome to Popcorn and Plot Holes, the podcast where we talk about movies that are fun and interesting, but not this week because someone's made a watch this with a fucking children's movie. Luciano.
Wow. What? Listen, I just floated the idea. You guys
Whoa, I
accepted
thought this
it?
was Chris's idea.
No, it was mine.
Oh my God, you're going to hear
see,
Oh, Chris, I thought was
exactly.
safe today.
Listen, you made us watch Matrix 4. You do not get to complain.
And I'll take accountability for my sins, but you're taking the bullet on this one.
Oh, that's fine.
You've heard our two returning guests / co-hosts. I don't know what to call these people.
Slash-
Chris,
God Kings.
no, you're not immortal. We definitely gave you the elixir of mortality, just to be sure.
Oh no, not again.
Not again. Chris is not joining us this week.
Because he hates all of you that are listening.
And he knew better not to watch this movie somehow.
Yeah.
Actually, he said last week, I really want to watch it.
He should
I'm
not.
going to watch it regardless. We should let him.
Listen, sorry, I shouldn't bury the lead. Maybe
What do
he
you mean
watched it.
let him? He's going to watch it if he wants to watch it. We should let him out of his
Luciano's
cage
gonna
for a
go
day.
to his house and turn off
No,
that
I
one
mean,
movie on
we shouldn't
Netflix.
dissuade him, is what I mean.
See if he listens to the podcast. Hey, Chris, if you listen to this podcast when you're not on it, tell us if you watched the movie or not.
Yeah.
You dumb idiot.
And if you are listening to this episode, Chris, turn it off and watch the movie because it's great and it's worth watching. Wink.
Well, that's a great, excellent segue into A, what the movie is, The Monkey King,
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
and B, Spencer, you're regaling us with a lovely anecdote, probably the most positive thing we're about to say about this movie before we started the episode. Do you want
That's
to just
true.
tell us?
Well, this is the first movie on the podcast that I could watch with my son.
Nice.
He's 3 years old, and I was like, "Oh, this is." I knew nothing about it, but it said family film, so I put it on, and he's never. I've actually never watched like a movie with him. I watched a lot of like TV, like Paw Patrol stuff, kind of thing. Anyways, we watched it in like the first fight scene with what's his name,
Demon of Havoc.
Havoc.
Shang-Chi's dad.
Yeah, and my son, turned like kind of curled away from the TV and into me and was like, "Nipa." My son speaks French and English, by the way. He's like, "Nipa like it."
Your
He's
son
scary.
is Acadian.
Yeah, very very fine English. Nipa like it. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I turned it off, and then he was like, "No, I like the monkey." I was like, "Okay, can we put it back on?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I put it back on, and he pushed through, and he watched it all. And,
You're welcome.
yeah,
Spencer.
exactly. So this will go down in my memory as the first movie I watched with my son. Thanks a lot, Luciano. Could have been Toy Story.
It's a mixed
Could've been-
bag. It's a mixed bag.
yeah. It could have been one of the all-time great,
It could
kids
have.
films. Instead, it's the fucking Monkey King.
Welcome to real life, kid. Life is
Yeah,
pain.
yeah. Wake up.
Life is like Monkey King. Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in a hole for 500 years if you don't change that attitude.
Yeah, that's the story. The moral of the
It's the
story.
lesson. If you're not good,
Yeah. It's the only
Buddha
thing I
can-
took
Buddha
from
will
this
come
movie.
Inside
down and put you in a hole.
Trap you in a mountain. Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Everybody will know where you are, and no one's gonna get you out until they need you.
until you're good for something.
Yeah.
Yep. So, good luck, future child. As we try to do, that was a very positive anecdote. There are, no movie is completely horrible except maybe Morbius. And we try to start off with something positive about our movies. And so, what did you guys like about this movie?
I liked the Dragon King. Just everything about it.
The guy with the bad
cast.
skin.
I love the idea of the Dragon King having to be underwater because he had bad skin. But I also like Bowen Yang is great at it. Like he just you can tell he had a lot of fun shooting it, and like to me he stole every scene he was in. And like
Except for the scene he was
song-
singing.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing. since I'm a rebel, I'm going to say two things. I actually really like the soundtrack of this movie.
Just because the main song is a metal song.
There's three metal songs.
That song was the fucking worst song.
Oh,
when
so
that movie
good.
ended, it cuts into metal, and like my wife walked in the room, she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's so good. It also gets stuck in your head for the rest of the fucking
No, it
day.
does not.
Yeah, it does.
It
Also,
exited
not that
my
one.
brain.
The Dragon King one does. The Dragon King one.
The Dragon King
got
one
stuck.
song had like no rhyming to it. It was really weird. I was like,
got stuck in my head.
I was like, was this song translated from another language because there was no rhyming?
Yes, there was.
No, the first half of this, maybe at the end there was some rhyming.
Do you not know how rhymes work?
Do you want me to pull up the lyrics?
Oh god.
The first like half of it was like no. What's the song? What's the name of the song? Here, feeling weary? Well, you oughta, 'cause dwelling underwater isn't swell. Trust me, I know. You see, since birth, I have fought a dermatology disorder that has caused me sadness and
that's
whoa,
rhymed.
whoa, whoa.
Just
What?
because it's not an easy rhyme that you're accustomed
word
to.
rhymes with what word there?
A-B-A-B, it's A-A-B-B.
What? No, it's not. Feeling weary? Well, you oughta, 'cause dwelling underwater isn't swell. There's no what's rhyming?
Water, order, they're all rhyme. It's not just like a neat little rhyme, but it does rhyme.
No,
I didn't say
It
order.
does. Go look at the actual. There's a disorder after later on. Go look at the lyrics. It does rhyme. But whatever.
This is the worst conversation in
Shut
history of time.
This is not the Dragon King song podcast. So fuck it.
Whenever
Whatever.
other kids saw me under the sun's rays, in no time they'd be calling me a freak or a raisin. Is that supposed to be the rhyme? Raisin, raisin?
It's how he sings it.
That's a stretch.
Hey, Spencer.
Oh, God.
Just because your son's childhood is ruined forever doesn't mean you need to take the piss out of every piece of this movie. It's okay. Just let it go.
It's gonna be Spencer's first F.
Maybe.
So I resigned myself to being left behind forever, living in the H2O. That doesn't rhyme.
Continue reading.
Why are we doing this? This is the worst
I don't know.
podcasting of all time.
Okay.
We're 7 minutes in. You're just reading off the lyrics to a song that has. I don't think it rhymes either. But if you
Thank
don't hear
you.
the person sing it, it really loses the
All right, I'll
effect it's
sing it
supposed to
for you.
have.
That is also very true. Yeah.
We're talking about good things about this
Sorry,
movie before we get into the bad.
Sorry, I'll let you
I
finish,
already did
Luciano.
mine. I did mine. I really like the Dragon King. I like the cast and I like the character.
Would you like to go next, Spencer?
Yeah, I like the lack of rhyming. No, I liked some of the action set pieces. I mean, the staff was cool. I would say the staff is probably one of my up there with like a top tiered new like cool fictional weapon. You know, like everything's been done before. You know, you've seen another laser sword, another
Spencer.
super spear. Yeah, I know this
Spencer.
fucking movie's from a story from 1,000 years ago.
No. That's actually not the thing I'm going to bring up now. You're talking about the staff as a cool new weapon. I bring you one Rebel Moon.
You shut your whore mouth. I'm not talking about just a staff. It was the staff and how powerful it was and all the things it could do. It was
So
cool.
if Atticus Noble's staff used to
Yes.
talked in like rumbles and tones and like
100%.
swung around.
And he could fly on it and it could grow and
honestly,
it could like
yes.
basically it like do anything and was the protagonist of the movie, then yes.
If
That
that's
Rebel
not-
Moon would be good.
If that's not an Scargiver, we're fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that movie is a sequel. Oh boy.
Oh boy. All right,
Okay.
no. Anything else you liked?
I liked when he got giant and fought the other giant because it reminded me of the ending of the first
Dragon
God
King.
of War
Did
game.
you watch this movie? You don't know the
I
names
said
of
when he got
anything.
You know I don't retain names. I got a bad brain.
It's the Monkey King, who is the title character of the movie.
Right.
And the Dragon King, the main.
Like they're not even names. All of them are just titles. The only two
What
things
is
that
that?
have names in this is Lin and
Yeah.
Wang Mu.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a
It's just
title.
it's the creature with the king on the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Dragon King? Was that Swedish? Okay, so I like the part when the Monkey King fought the giant Dragon King,
There you go.
and because it reminded me of the ending of God of War the original video game where Kratos gets big and fights Ares.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Kratos King fights Ares King.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
The God of War fights the God of War.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not technically.
Wow.
No.
Shut up. I beat you to it.
The one thing you guys had mentioned that I really liked is I liked the battle in Hell where the Monkey King and Lin fight Yama.
Oh, yeah.
It was a fun fight. It was the best stylized and most interesting fight in terms of like it just looked different and felt different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know they did he killed the 99 demons in a different art style, which was also cool, but it's so fast that it's just like
Yeah.
it's a montage, right? So, but I really enjoyed that fight. It made it a lot of fun, and oh boy, is Yama bad at his job. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I really would have liked
That-
to watch the movie of him fighting the 99 demons because that sounds like a cooler
that
movie.
sounds like a better movie. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to use that as a segue into one of the things that annoyed me about this movie. And this, you can tell it's a children's movie totally, and not a movie that's made for both parents and kids. I thought was it moves so fast and everything is so fucking disjointed.
so fast.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching like 11 TikToks at once. My brain was. I'm like, I'm so old. This is like too much stimulation.
I watched the first half of this movie. I watched it in 2 parts, and I watched the first half like I was high, and so I was like,
oh boy.
"Is it me?
Was it
Am
in
I-"
slow motion for you?
Am
Or
I-
was it too fast for you?
And then I watched the second half not high. I'm like, I
No.
don't think it was me.
Yeah, no. I mean, first half was probably a combination of both.
Oh, probably.
You're watching on pause.
Did you think like, wow, my brain is really slow, and but yeah, no, it's
Good
so
one,
fast.
Luciano.
It's so fast.
I think that all the time.
Got
Ooh, my brain.
My brain
Yeah,
slow.
no, I'm just imitating Matt when he was high.
My brain slow.
Ooh, brain.
No, but I'm glad you said that because I thought that too. I was like, this movie's just like rapid fire, like ADD put to screen, and it was honestly a bit overwhelming. Like the first half, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm just drinking like a speed coffee.
Like I was okay. Like I thought it was just gonna be the beginning, so that we got to the actual story. Like it's gonna just rush, and then, but no, it's like the whole
Yeah,
the
the whole
movie
movie.
goes and it pauses for like 2 seconds, and then he speeds along again. You go like, what the fuck is going on?
That was exactly it, right? I figured we were just speeding along until he killed the 99 demons to sort of, okay, and then setting up the rest of the movie of him.
I was hoping
Doing
that
all the rest of the stuff.
most of the middle was gonna be him killing all the or some of the demons at least, but nope.
Well, I thought like the last demon, right? That was, okay, we got to the last demon. This is going to be
Yeah,
big
big fight. No,
Nothing.
It's a
Fuck
little
off.
child first.
Yeah.
of
Yeah, that
all.
was a weird choice. I thought that was the 100th demon. Yeah, was going to be the main antagonist,
Mhm.
and it was going to be cool. I was wrong.
You were very
Yeah,
wrong.
about both of those things.
Yeah, probably the coolest demon he fought was probably the first demon he fought.
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shang-Chi's dad. And
The demon of
sorry,
Marvel.
I remember. There's one other thing I liked.
Oh, he's getting his notes out, people.
No.
Oh.
No.
No,
The
I'm
one
not
thing
looking at my
I
notes.
liked
I'm looking at
was-
something else.
I'm looking at something else
related.
more interesting than this podcast. No, I didn't know if you know this, but Steve, I don't know if it's Steven or Stefan. I apologize. I just see it written. Was one of the producers on this, and he's a very famous movie maker who makes like action comedies. He made Kung Fu Hustle, if you know that movie, and he made Shaolin
Oh,
Soccer.
Really? Well, there is a
Steve-
reference.
Steve
Stephen
Benchich?
Chow.
What? Stephen Chow?
Stephen Chow.
Oh, what? He was a director or a producer?
No, he was just a producer. But
I was
I
looking at writers. Sorry,
I
Steve
noticed
Benchich.
in the movie
Get
there's
fucked.
2 references to. I was
Yeah.
like, one of the lady smoking the thing is the same lady like from.
Yeah,
Kung Fu
that's
Hustle.
right, from Kung Fu
And
Hustle.
she
yeah.
jumps on the house and does like that, puts out the
that's
fire.
who she reminded me of. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this
That's right.
parodying? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, you were right. I
And then
noticed that too.
Shaolin Soccer.
And then he says
Which-
Shaolin Soccer. He's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
Shaolin Soccer.
yeah,
Kicks
I
the
was
ball.
like, oh, I was, because that fight when Matt was talking, I really liked that fight too. And then when they were kicking stuff, I was like, ooh, Shaolin Soccer. And he goes, ooh, Shaolin Soccer. I'm like, bro, what? Why? Just leave it alone.
And you gotta say it. But yeah, so like those were. I know. Actually, I rarely notice. I always like read it afterwards and then repeat it. Like I noticed. Like I'm smart when I'm not. But this time I actually noticed. And then during the credits, it said Stephen Chow. I was like, oh, is that why? And then I was also like, why isn't this movie better if he's involved? Because he's hilarious and his movies are hilarious.
Now that you mentioned it, that the mayor's wife, I think it's even kind of the same sort of like she's the landlady on.
Yeah.
It's so similar. You're right. Yeah, I can unsee it now.
It seems like, well, I think the challenge here is that it's not a original thing, right? This is adapted from a novel. Once you're adapting from a novel, you know what you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it's adapted from a novel, which I'm sure is adapted from just general like mythology, right? Because this is set up. You find out at the end, because I thought it was just going to be Journey to the West, which is a story that anybody who's watched Dragon Ball kind of knows a little bit about, because that's what it's bastardized, but that's what it is. And I thought this was going to be another take on it. I was like, oh, this is weird. We never see him get born and everything. And then they set it up because at the end, and just keeping around. But he goes like, oh, are you ready? We're ready to journey to the West. And I was like, oh, I get the reference. That's nice. But yeah.
It finally paid off, right?
Well, it did it. I guess we're going to get into it in a little bit.
It's hard to say, right? No, I think it's interesting, right? Like it's it's probably a good children's movie. It's bright, colorful.
I was gonna say
simple, but yeah.
I don't think that this is a good children's movie, and we're gonna get to it during the plot hole section. But like, what sort of lesson is this teaching to the children? You can be an absolute dick, and everything will work out fine for you.
Listen, man. Maybe we just need to have fucking Orko float through the end and be like, "Hey, kids, if someone at the church touches you, you should tell your parents about it," and then the lesson's learned.
That took a good lesson turn. Wherever I thought you were going to go with that was not it.
You're welcome.
But you should learn that.
Mm-hmm. Just don't go to church. It'll save you a lot of problems.
Like, from what Spencer said, like at least his son kind of enjoyed, I guess, the colorful action.
My son's 3. He's not.
Yeah, but like a 7-year-old that watches, a 10-year-old that watches this and goes, "Huh, look at that! The monkey is being a complete asshole to everybody, and everything works out for him. He becomes immortal, and then he wins against all the gods." Maybe I should be an asshole. Like, it's not a good lesson to learn.
Maybe I should mix chemicals and drink it to gain immortality.
Just randomly. Yeah.
Glad we're learning the right lessons. We'll get there. Don't worry, kids.
All of the kids that are listening to us right now.
I think this is probably a good spot because I was wondering about this, and I think you guys can help me dig through this. I, as someone who went to university for chemical engineering and failed after one semester, I'm a real expert.
Is that actually true?
We call him Dr. Matt here.
Thank you. That is 100% true. The elixir of immortality, specifically the one that gives him immunity or immortality from combat, because apparently it was broken up. The ingredients are a pinch of instant karma, a spoonful of chi, a drop of moon essence, and the nectar of what turns out to be a generic peach, even though the movie makes it seem like it's a fancy peach. How does this work? Because
if that was like, what kind of a lesson is this, that he can drink something that has a pinch of instant karma? Well, yeah, no, he should have gotten fucked, right, for all of the shit that he pulled. When he tries to save that village and burns it to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You thought that was going to circle back?
He should.
I thought it was going to be karma. I thought it was setting it up like a joke where he was going to be like spill a little bit on himself and then be like, the Lynn girl would be like, "Watch out!" And he's like, "I don't need your help, you pebble," and then a thing hits him in the head like instantly, and then it's like, instant karma. Like I thought there was going to be a little joke.
Thanks, Stephen Chow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
like that would have been. That's what I was expecting in that scene.
We call him Spencer Chow here.
Thank
Better.
You. Yeah, worse. But I'd like to imagine the real life version of that drink. Like if you were like peach would be peach schnapps, I would imagine. Or
Sure.
Peach absolute peach vodka.
Oh God, why?
Okay.
Peach schnapps, okay? Peach schnapps.
You're trying to make this the worst drink or just something you could drink?
No, just what it is. I think
Okay.
Moon Essence would be moonshine.
Okay, so it's at least an alcoholic drink.
Oh, it's gonna
You go to
kill
the
you.
bar and you're like, give me the elixir of immortality.
It's gonna
what's-
kill you. That's the
What's
joke.
what's instant
Yeah.
karma? Absinthe?
No, moonshine and absinthe. This is we call this
Can't
drink
you?
murder.
No, absinthe is probably a little too far on the instant karma scale. What else we got? We got the spoonful of
It has to be something you drink and instantly fucks you up. That's why I picked that.
I feel like chi would be like chai tea.
Okay.
Purely
Oh,
because
just
it
to kinda
starts with
eat, like,
CH
kinda
and
like-
ends with E sound.
Oh, I see.
It's feeling a little racist. Also, it's
Yeah, I was
just,
gonna say-
it's
I was
just
gonna
chai
say-
for the record, you son of a bitch, before we get all
I
those
know
emails.
chai is the word tea. It's like saying chai tea. It's like saying tea tea. I also saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's where you should know that from.
Yeah, that's your only education point in life.
Yeah, that's where you learned it.
Thanks, Spencer.
And then what's karmic instant karma?
Well, if it's
That's what I'm saying.
instant, is it just like instant coffee?
Instant coffee? Yeah, okay. It's Nescafe.
Oh God,
It's Nescafe.
That just made it so
Spoonful
much
of
worse.
Nescafe.
Okay, and the karma
either
is you,
that or
you
or
puke
like
it
Tang.
right when you drink it.
Like Tang juice, like the instant juice you make with like
That's
powder.
that would be better. Yeah, why does it have to be coffee?
Is
instant,
it? Is
instant
it
like
better?
powder for like
Well, if we have chai in there, it's kind of spicy, and then we
Right.
have orange and peach, and then what was the
That's
last
actually
flavor we
starting to
picked?
sound actually pretty tasty.
moonshine.
The moonshine. Yeah, moonshine comes through. It's it's like vodka.
It's really it really doesn't matter what else you have in it.
It's just
It really
moonshine.
powers through because it's 2/3 of the drink is that.
No, it's a drop of moonshine.
Oh well, that's
The
not
biggest
too
the
much.
biggest amount based on what we saw in the movie was the peach.
I'm thinking of a drop of moonshine as that video we've seen of the woman making
An old fashioned.
an old fashioned with like, oh, you need 2 ounces of vodka, and she fucking pours half of the fucking bottle inside.
Just so our listeners are clear, I know that there is no vodka in an old
Is it?
fashioned.
Is that not vodka? Was it bourbon? Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Matt
it's whiskey.
knows
It's
this.
whiskey. I
I
trust me,
too
know.
know this. I too saw Across the Spider-Verse. Where I get all my knowledge.
Oh yeah, that scene where they make an old fashioned.
Let's see where they make old fashions and discuss business.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw in the movie. Okay, well, I'm glad we cleared that up because it was a little confusing to me as to what went on there. And then the other half of Immortality, he just had to erase his name from Yama's
The
book,
scroll
right?
of his own scroll of life.
His own
or
scroll.
whatever. Yeah.
Was it his own scroll? That's weird.
Yeah,
Anyways,
his own
fine.
scroll. And I made me wonder, is like Lynn was looking for it. Like, why didn't she just do the same for herself?
Yeah, she fucked up.
She didn't want to be immortal.
It's true. She didn't fuck up. She made the right choice. Being immortal sucks.
Yeah.
No, I'd like it.
Have you tried
right.
being immortal?
For the
Yeah,
first 500
it doesn't
years.
have-
Exhausting.
Haven't worked. Hasn't worked yet.
Been there, done that.
I wouldn't mind like the half immortality, just so if it kept my body in stasis, right? That's the
it's
key.
like it gives you an exit option.
Yeah, and then you can like.
Well, then
all right.
that's different.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean-
That's ideal. You got the exit option.
Basically, is not the immortality he got from hell. He's now a Highlander.
yeah. Well,
yeah, basically.
no.
Well, you can be
No,
killed
no,
by
because-
any way.
Yeah, because like Highlanders can die as long as they don't get their heads cut and they come back. If he died,
Yeah.
he died.
No, I know, but he only dies in combat though. That was
Yeah.
the
No, I don't think it's even just in combat. I think they just said that. I think he'll die in any way that's not old age.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Like if
saying.
he gets hit by a bus, he'd die.
Or if he gets like sick or whatever, right? Like Connor McLeod would get back from drowning or
sure.
whatever.
Yeah, I follow.
He wouldn't. He
Oh,
would.
I just think that like really,
I'd
yeah, it's fine.
I'd
The-
count
the-
sickness as old age, though. Like, I don't think he'd die from sickness because I think that's
fair.
inferred.
Okay,
But like
now
drowning, he would, right?
now you're
Drowning
starting
he
to
would.
split hairs because like why?
Oh,
sickness
we
is
never
not,
do that here.
No, well, hey, listen, sickness is
This
is
podcast
not
is
old
a
age.
professional.
Sickness is not old age. Sickness is sickness.
What most people who die from old age die from a sickness before.
Yeah, but
You
the
don't just-
old age kills them, not the sickness.
No, the
No, it's
sickness.
the opposite.
You get old and then you get
the
weak and you-
sickness kills them because they're old,
Exactly.
Yeah.
not vice versa.
No, but it's
there
the
is no old age.
no, but their body being in disrepair
Right.
is the
right,
reason
yeah.
why the sickness hits them, and your body comes into disrepair because you're old.
So
does your body just not get into disrepair?
Yeah, I agree. I think if he caught COVID, and he could die.
okay. He
Sir,
still has to wear his mask.
He would catch monkeypox. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Nicely done.
did he get the vaccine? Is the question.
No, he's
We
an
don't-
anti-vaxxer.
no, we can't. Don't have time.
Anti-vaxxer. Okay.
Oh no! Well, he would
Yeah,
be.
definitely.
If I know
would.
anything
be.
with this Monkey
He
King,
would be.
the way he treated everybody in this movie, definitely anti-vaxxer. He tell
Yeah.
all the rest of them to get it, but he's not
Yeah,
getting
but he wouldn't get it.
because he's the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Monkey King a little bit more in depth because he is our biggest plot hole.
More in depth than his
I'm gonna
vaccination
use-
status.
I'm going to use a term from a different country, not China. I don't want to be caught there. England. I've got English blood in me, so I think it's appropriate. The Monkey King is a giant cunt. And I don't think there's any other way to describe his behavior throughout the entire movie.
Yes.
He doesn't just start off as like a little cunt and then learn how to treat people correctly. He is a cunt until they drag him out of that rock 500 years later. And,
And
even
he's
then,
a and he's a cunt there too.
still a little bit.
There is a stretch of about 5 minutes in this movie where he's not a giant twat.
Well, he
which is
catches
when
her
he's-
from...
There's when he catches her from when she's falling,
Yeah.
and even then, but when the whole character development that he needed to have had in the entire movie, when it happens, when he gets finally got caught by Buddha, and he goes, "Oh, thank you for everything, Lin. I've learned so much.
Right.
I'm gonna go be peaceful now because I'm so good." That's the only time when he's.
But
not
that's also
being
like that's like when you like catch your kid eating
Yep.
like all the candy and then they're like
I'm sorry.
the second they're caught. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I have
I'll
more?
never do that again until the next time.
Yeah, it's like I don't buy it. He was already caught falling into a hole where he's not going to be let out unless he's like
Yeah.
better. Of course, he's going to be. I learned my lesson. I'm a better
Yeah,
man.
no, but like that
Better
whole
now.
scene with her, with like it's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and like she puts her hand on him and he goes, "Oh," it's like, what? I don't.
Did you expect?
What?
I kind of expected him to pull her in.
Yeah, like
Which
that would
would've
have
been-
been in character.
Not today, bitch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
she-
be alone in
I
this.
wouldn't have minded that, and then she stays with them for the whole. Like she survives because she's in this
Well,
like cocoon
she
of
doesn't
immortality.
deserve that. She
And
doesn't
then-
deserve that.
But then they like go out and they're like going on an adventure together again.
yeah, no,
Like they did in this movie. They make being alone for 500 years seem like it wouldn't be an absolute torture that would
oh, he's
kill
supposed
you.
to be sort of like hibernating or whatever,
Yeah. So they would go with that vibe.
Meditating, I think.
or meditating. Yeah, sorry, not hibernating. He's not a bear.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, meditating. Yes. Yes.
He's eating salmon before going
They
in the
open
hole.
it. Oh, the Monkey King. No, I'm the Bear King now.
I'm the Bear King now. I put on 600 pounds. Eating. There's one salmon stream in here.
So, like,
Yeah.
is the Monkey King justified? Like, how, he's justified a little, but like, when does his justification for being a massive cunt end? Because he comes out as a baby and he's just trying to find a family to love him, and fucking Cranky Kong is like, "You're never gonna amount to
Fuck you."
nothing.
Cranky
Fuck
Kong.
you. You're gonna live alone for 500 years." Cranky Kong was fucking spot on, by the way.
Yeah, that monkey was
He
a
was bang on.
prophet. Yeah.
But yeah, he like comes out like a baby and then like crying, and then my dad goes, "You're gonna be nothing. You're gonna grow up to be a monster." And then I said, "My dad." It was a joke.
You did say your dad. I was like, oh my god,
was
what
a
a
joke.
Freudian slip.
I was like, none of you reacted. I was like, "Oh god."
No, we went with it.
Yeah. So then, he basically tells him he's going to be nothing. The problem with the character in this movie is, I mean, we all know the arc of the insufferable asshole protagonist who becomes likable. it never got
It
to
never
be
happened.
likable.
You forgot
And there
that
were
part.
They forgot that part, and there were a lot of layups for that part, and they just kept doubling down.
So many
every
layups.
time.
Yeah.
They just doubled down every day. It was like, she's like, and then I saw my name on the list, Lynn, and it would say you'd be nothing, and he's like,
He's
who's
like, yeah,
Lynn?
you're nothing,
I was like,
bitch.
I was like, I actually laughed at that. He's like, wait, who's Lynn? And she's like, I'm Lynn. And then but he just keeps going. He's like, oh, you are
nice to
nothing.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lynn.
No,
You're
but
a
even
piece of
before,
shit.
like, so you asked Matt when he did his like reason for being a cunt kind of run out. I think
Yeah.
in this movie is when he goes to kill the 100th demon. Which, by the way, that number the Cranky Kong pulled out of his entire asshole.
With-
Like, you have to find 100 demons for them
Oh,
to
yeah.
notice you.
Well,
He was
And
right,
it's
though.
like,
He was
but
right.
Did he though? Because he was accurate about being a monster. He was
That's fair.
accurate. So
That's fair.
technically, it seemed like it was out of his ass.
Well, firstly, he was right about not going into the light. He's
Right.
like, don't go in the light. And then they don't listen, and they get eaten.
but
Lesson,
then
son.
they get
Allegedly eaten.
but they get kidnapped even outside of the light later on. So
Yeah, but this light made
He was
them
still in the light.
easier to see them.
I guess
It seemed.
but like, so I think it runs out when he goes to kill the 100th demon,
Right.
and he completely demolishes that town with the fire.
Oh, he
That's when he kind of
burns it
ran
down.
out of,
and then he
like,
makes them give him a ceremony.
and a medal and
Yeah.
all of that shit, and he like
Through-
completely
through like by force, basically.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
that was like a large hostage situation.
And when that happened, I was like, wait. I thought this was going to be when he was like, oh, I have to mind my actions and I have to be careful with, the Uncle Ben thing of great power and great responsibility. I thought, nope. Oh, I burned your whole town. Give me a speech and a medal and pay me or whatever.
See, I didn't mind that because one, it was funny, but also he had no reason to change yet. I thought that the story was like really making him seem like a complete ass until the girl was involved, Lynn, and then that she was gonna show him,
Like, be his
Love.
morality pet.
yeah, and like she was gonna show him like not attention, but like affection, compassion, and like give him that family that he's wanted, and that's gonna make him realize the error of his ways. Like a movie.
Again, they did half of that.
No, they
Like
didn't.
with the insufferable protagonist who learns his lesson.
Oh
She
yeah,
gave
yeah,
him
they did that.
compassion and she gave him care, and he's like, just, oh, you're a pebble, fuck off. Like,
Yeah, and he's
I
like,
thought-
you gotta take your shit. If you want something, take it. Peace.
I thought for sure that when they ended up in Wang Mu's potions hut or lab, yeah.
potion hut.
At times, it was so destroyed, I didn't know where they were. I'll be honest with you. Maybe I was so high at this point. Who knows?
You're on your own potions.
I was on the elixir of immortality.
You were on Matt's potion hut.
But like, he turns back into
A baby.
a baby monkey, and I didn't quite catch how that happened. But I thought when she like picked him up and let him cuddle her and like showed affection to him as a baby, that was going to have an impact as he came back and was like,
Another
"Oh
layer.
yeah."
He
And
didn't even
nah,
remember what happened when he was
No,
as a baby.
not a
Yeah.
god.
What, do
Goddamn
you
thing.
remember when you were a baby?
Well, I mean, he had just come back to be a baby.
Yeah, you're still a baby.
That's fair.
Got him.
That's not the main problem with this movie. That's fine that he forgot. It's fine.
No, but but they have like the point is that they subvert the stereotype
In a
or
bad
not-
way.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
They subvert it, but with no.
They subvert
to no
the
end.
cliche.
The cliche is better. They subvert the cliche, but to no end of value. Right?
Like, he
there's
gives
no
up
point.
his like ultimate goal of being super god
Yeah, that tracks.
to catch her. And then you're like, and she's like, "Oh, you care about me," and I was like, "Oh," and it was almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like, okay,
Finally.
we're finally like getting
Yeah.
past this like
Nope.
not negativity, but this just like assholery.
He's
like,
he's
It
insufferable.
gets so
like,
great, yeah. It gets
yeah.
grating like to the audience.
Yeah.
Like I was
he
like,
does.
okay, like you're just a fucking asshole. Like I'm just over you. And then it's like, but again, that feeling works to the audience if the shell comes down, and you're like, you know what, he's not that bad. But you start to like the character because you've seen them change, like like a movie. And then when that opportunity comes, and she's like, "You care about me," I don't know what happens, but he's just like, "What?" It's just like, "Nah, I'm not going to help you." She's like, "Can you help me now?" And he's like, "No."
Wrecked.
Like,
No, you know what?
Fuck you.
You know what happens is he's like, if you want something, you got to take it for yourself. That's the little speech he goes on.
Yeah, but how did he get that lesson
Not really
there?
a good lesson to teach
Well,
children.
so this is the thing of the movie, right? Spencer and I we are both parents, and so if your child watches this movie and isn't just mesmerized by the monkey, but sees themselves in Lynn, then there are many questions you have to ask yourself about. Why does Lynn stick around with such a toxic,
abusive relationship?
Yeah. Right.
It gets to be Stockholm syndrome at some point.
And like it's her job to fix a broken, flawed
At the end, yeah.
partner. Like, no, just fucking walk away. Let him figure his fucking shit out.
Yeah, like I didn't understand. Like I was so mad when like Buddha was gonna do something. I was like, yeah, comeuppance, right? Which you shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't have a foreboding or like an incoming feeling of Schadenfreude with your protagonist.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So I was like, he's gonna get fucked now. And she's like, no, please, he's not that bad. I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you?
Says who? Says what? He's smashing your town.
Yeah.
But also, when she said, I have a challenge for you, did you expect the challenge to be, I'm going to trap you in a fucking prison for 500 years?
Yeah, well, Buddha's a dick.
Well, none of that scene makes sense, right? Because he's like, I have he tells her, oh, you teach him then the way. And I was like, aren't you the fucking god of gods? Why are you asking a girl?
That's your job.
It's your job, yeah. She goes in, but then she has the wisdom to do it. And she's like, oh, if you can jump off of my hand. Like, the scene was pretty cool.
I didn't understand that scene.
Well, he flew,
Buddha's
but he was
vast
still
and infinite.
Yeah, Buddha is the whole universe. Yeah. But and then she's like, okay, you failed the challenge, and he puts his hand down and he becomes the mountain, which is a really cool visual.
Sure.
But then, how did she know how to do it? And I was like, holy shit! So you failed. Now you have 500 years in prison. Holy shit! Like, what the fuck was that?
Well, by the looks of it, he needed 1,000 because he seems like he's still fucking ass.
Yeah. At the
He's
end,
like, oh, what? I just achieved eternal peace, and you want me to fight? And they're like, yeah. And he's like,
kinda. I'm
fuck
sorry.
some shit up, bitches.
And even the guy goes, oh no.
Oh no, he's learned nothing.
God damn it.
Like if it were me, I would just like slowly put the seal back on. Like,
Just,
no,
you know what? We're good. It's fine.
we're good. We'll deal with the demons ourselves.
figure it out.
Go back to sleep.
Let the demons have Earth. Let's just fuck it. This is not
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, part of me when I was watching was like, is this like based on a lore that I don't know? So they can't
Probably,
make the Monkey King like become not an asshole because he's always a mischievous asshole or something in the lore.
I don't think he's a cunt in the lore. I think the lore is pretty...
So what?
By the way, for all the kids listening with their parents, because it's a kids movie, I assume we have a large children audience. So it's pronounced cunt, cunt.
C-U-N-T, yeah, exactly. You have to really land on the T.
You gotta land on the T if you want it to be
It's
emphatic.
pretty much usable in all life situations. So if your mother or father says, hey, do you want some more food? You just say cunt, and then they'll understand.
No. Teach them right. You can say yes, cunt, exactly.
Or no cunt.
Yeah,
just go cunt. It's fine.
And now you've learned something today. The more you know.
The more you know, yeah. No, like so. What little I know about the legend is that he's like because like in the beginning of the movie they say here is the birth of trouble, right? That's how they qualify when he breaks off of the rock, and that's how kind of how I know he's supposed to be mischievous, but like being a little bit of a trickster is one thing. Being a raging cunt is a completely different one.
I don't know if he's like always very selfish in the lore, or if he does things to help people.
I don't know enough. I think he does things to help people.
Because it almost seemed like they made a point to make it be like, no, he cannot have a moment of realization where he becomes a better person. Like almost where they were being like,
he can be altruistic. He can be compassionate. He has to be a selfish dick. Yeah,
it's like we have to be true to his character no matter what.
I don't know that that's the case. I don't think it is because like of course, it's heavily modified, right? But anybody who's watched Dragon Ball has watched what is the sequel to the story that this movie tells, which is Journey to the West. And the way that Goku behaves in Dragon Ball, and not Dragon Ball Z, the first Dragon Ball when he's a kid, is sort of how it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be super curious and not be really too keen on following rules. But that's the little that I know. I don't know if he's supposed to be like selfish. I don't think so.
Maybe in the original Journey to the West, it's maybe that story is the story of him becoming a better person.
Maybe.
So they can't end this movie with him being a better person because he needs to have that arc in the next story.
Yeah, well, so I looked it up. Unfortunately, there is no monkeyking.fandom.com.
Well, then
damn it, they
why
failed
even
us
read
for
it?
the first time.
Why
I don't
even
know.
read it? It's the
I have
question.
no, well, we're going to go through it. So
Fake
using
news.
Wikipedia, which is not the best for this, but essentially the story at the broad strokes of the story is that the Monkey King is born from a stone, but basically he rebels against Buddha and the gods, and they imprison him for 500 years. So if that's the story, then there's a lot in there to create the lore you want.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if the book the novel the guy wrote, created the Monkey King to be a cunt, or if the movie was using. It's like when you're adapting, are you trying to do it in broad strokes so the children understand?
I see. So the story though had to end with him being in prison for 500 years.
That's the
they
first
couldn't have him
part.
be good in the end because then it would be. They
There-
could have had a more conflict though, which would have been better, where he's like torn.
They could have given him a good reason to rebel.
But also, you
Right?
didn't read that on Fandom. You read that on Wokepedia.
Oh no!
Wake up, sheeple!
Hey, we didn't invoke the name. We said nothing.
Sorry, I apologize.
Stay in your cage.
Yeah.
I like I said, I don't think it's like he had good reason. Like he could have been because they didn't want to help the humans or whatever, or because they didn't accept him even though he fulfilled whatever preconditions he needed to fulfill, whatever the case may be. But I don't think it would not be a story that survived this long if the protagonist of the story was not likable in some way. And I don't know about you guys, but I could not like him in any way.
No, I think I figured it out, and this is just my guess. I think in the original story, the story is he rebelled against the gods and was sort of a villain who was imprisoned for 500 years, and then Journey to the West is like his hero story. So because this is based on basically the prequel to Journey to the West, where he's kind of bad and at the end he gets punished, so you can't have him being good at the end of this story, although they tried. They had to have him sort of have a villain arc.
Well, but it wasn't a villain arc. It was a cunt
but
arc.
it was it was a cunt arc. But I will say this: I was really worried. At least they committed, because the worst thing they could have done in this movie, because he's such a fucking ass, is to have him get a happy ending in this.
Yeah.
And what they didn't do is I expected, because I just thought this was a kid's movie. I didn't really know the lore. I expected him to learn his lesson. When he fights the Dragon King, I thought it was going to be wow, I was able to defeat him with the power of my friend Lin, and all good. But they didn't. They made him go full ass. They committed to him being an ass in the end too.
Yeah,
when he turns bad,
he became a giant ass.
Yeah, literally a giant chimp ass.
Yeah.
And but that kind of actually caught me off guard, where he's kind of goes all red eyed and becomes full bad guy.
Which even that could have been something that you keep saying, Spencer. If this was a movie,
yeah,
they could have had it in a way where the power got to his head at the end, and then he lost control, and that's why he had to be whatever the case. What my point is, from what Matt read, and I don't know any much more than that, but it doesn't seem
excerpt.
It doesn't look like he had to be this selfish asshole that he was, irredeemable, really.
And
Yeah.
generally unlikable is the main thing.
So I've been reading more, because it obviously goes into the actual details of the story, and the movie, for the for the large part, hits the broad strokes. But, you know, it does a better job of, in the story, it looks like a painting him in sympathetic light. He's born as a small monkey. He meets other monkeys. They go live in a little cave, but then one of them's killed. And so he ventures out to find a way to find the immortals to beat death. And as he goes through these adventures, you know, he meets the Dragon King and gets a staff from them, and then gets him to make him an outfit for a king. And then now they want to kill him because he's been sentenced to death for extorting the Dragon Kings, and so he goes to hell to get his name wiped out of the book.
Look,
so they can't
wow. There's nuance in the story. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
that's pretty. They follow. I didn't know all of that was from the lore.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. And then
that's cool.
The Jade Emperor invites him to heaven to sort of promote him and rank him amongst the gods to help control him. And sort of he's, you know, being promoted, but he gets sort of a shit job, and, you know, blah 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 blah.
So like
that's it.
Inside that framework, you could even paint him as like an anti-hero at the end, like if you want.
Yeah.
Which is like, he's like downtrodden, like put down by the celestial bureaucracy, which is how, like, there's a reason why they call it the celestial bureaucracy.
Yeah, so the celestial bureaucracy tries to execute him.
There you go. That's a good reason to rebel.
And they fail, and he's kept in Laozi's 8-way trigram crucible for 49 days in order to be distilled into an elixir by Samadhi fires.
Wow. Okay, that you couldn't really show in the children's
No.
movie. And then he was, you know, tortured for 50 days.
He survived, so it's fine.
It's fine, kids.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
They just tore off his toenails and fingernails.
Especially, I don't know. I get it that they wanted to kind of, from one hand, like, it sounds like Spencer said, like, they kept pretty close to the mythology, which is cool, but it doesn't seem from anything that you're saying that it said, no, he absolutely has to be a twat. Like, no, he didn't have to be.
Riddle me this then, because if the challenge is you're making a children's movie, and you need your main character to be bad enough that you can justify to the kids that he got imprisoned,
right?
But you don't. But he is the hero of the story, and not. It's like, you know, it's like when we make Venom movies. It's like, oh, he's a good guy. It's like, no, Venom just eats people. Yeah. You shouldn't have made a movie where he's the good guy. I don't want to see that.
True.
But in the scenario, the Monkey King is the good guy, so I don't think he should be a massive cunt.
I think he was. I think he was a big cunt in the original lore, because I just reading up on the lore. There's a part where the Monkey King says, "Hey, have you heard of Andrew Tate? I'm a big fan. You should read it. You should look into him, man."
Think you're reading the wrong.
No, this is the original Monkey King story. And he says
Andrew Tate doesn't sound so Chinese, though.
Yeah,
yeah, but he says you should look into the alpha man mentality.
Does he get into crypto as well?
Yeah, he says you're just a beta who doesn't even trade crypto, bro. And I'm shocked that they wrote this. How long? 1,000 years ago?
More than that.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
And then he said the election was stolen. Well, this guy was an ass.
I thought you can only come out when we sell.
I didn't say this. This is in the ancient story, Journey to the West.
It feels like only the other you would know how to find this.
No, yeah. And then he says women are property. What the? Like, this guy's a little out there.
I mean,
now I get it. They try to tone it down for the kids movie.
Yeah. Let's segue off of that.
Make China great again.
We've got too far.
Yeah, hard segue out. I just wanted to say, one of the main problems that I found stemming from the fact that the Monkey King was unlikable is, like, the way that Lin acted towards him through basically half of the movie. Basically, after he finally acquiesces to her going with him, and only because he can't fucking read, that's the only reason he accepted it.
I'm sorry, how does this fucking
segue?
No, how does this fucking cunt not know how to read?
He's a monkey.
He's a monkey.
Yeah.
Monkeys don't have eyes.
Anyway, what? Anyway, like he only accepts her help because he needs her help. And from then on, she's like, "Oh, he's nice. No, I'm going to be nice to him. No, I'm not going to betray him." Oh, she feels bad. Like none of that to me, at least, made sense.
When should she have just fucked off completely?
When he abandoned her in hell, I guess.
Yeah, but she still needed the.
She's
The
stuck
stick?
because she needs the staff.
Yeah, she needs the staff.
So her village gets saved. I mean, that's the undertone why she sticks with him. Learns.
Okay,
Let's
so
be real.
she should have just walked away when he becomes a baby and gets stuck because he's eating teleportation berries and he gets stuck inside whatever the fuck that thing was.
Yeah, I would have
She should
left.
just said, pick it up and go, "See ya, you motherfucker," and just go.
I
help
would
her
have
fucking-
laughed my way all the way to the Dragon Bank,
Yes, same.
cashed my staff
I mean, it wouldn't
for a
have
fucking
worked,
weather storm.
right? It wouldn't have worked
No.
because the Dragon King wouldn't have helped, but she didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, and then she wants to come around and help him again because she feels guilty, and the Dragon King's a dick. That's fine, but when he goes full fucking monkey cunt and like tries to destroy the Jade Palace and everybody in there and wants to
Well,
become
even before, she's like, "Okay, please help me. You're now a god. You're now immortal. You can help me." "No, I'm not going to help you. Fuck you."
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
think-
You're right. Everything she does, she has really no choice. She's doing it to get the staff. She shows hesitation, which is stupid, but she takes the staff, which she has no choice. And then once the dragon fucks her over, she has to turn back to the
Yeah,
monkey
that
for
makes
help.
sense.
She has no choice. But when the moment Buddha came in, she should have said, "You should fuck up all these kings: the
Yeah.
Dragon King, the Monkey King. Get these animal. They should not be running this place. Fuck these guys."
Yeah.
Fucking
here's
Catman was eating monkey kids.
I don't think he was
That's
a
fine.
god, but
allegedly.
Whatever.
You have no proof. So here's the thing I'm seeing, because I think to some degree the story is faithful to the lore, in the sense that the Monkey King basically goes up and finds out that the rest of the immortals are kind of shitty and wants to
Right.
overthrow them. We have the challenge of you need to put someone who is for the children as someone that can see the movie through, right? So that's where you get Lynn from.
right.
And so Lynn's motivations are fine on their own because Lynn is just trying to save her village.
Yeah.
Right. So those two things work on their own. The mistake was putting them together. Because you in the children's movie you want to show that the Monkey King isn't all bad.
Yeah.
But he kind of just
Is.
is.
Yeah. He's a selfish asshole. There's
Yeah.
no other. Yeah.
And so when you make him do nice things, then his character becomes unrealistic
Yeah.
because that's
He
not
has
how.
Like you don't
people work.
believe like when he goes and saves her the second time, right? When she purposely she takes the teleportation berry and falls.
Yeah.
And even she's going, he's gonna come. Oh, he's not gonna come because she knows that he's a cunt.
Mhm.
And like him going after her makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then when she betrays him and she feels guilty about it, which is fine. Like that, like you said, this is a good lesson for the kids. But then he fucks her. Like, okay, so the Dragon King fucked her over. She asks for his help. She asks for his help. He helps, but then he becomes an even worse problem. And she again saves him. Like none of that makes sense to me.
It sounds like she's in an abusive relationship, and that's a terrible lesson.
I don't want to show that to kids. Is what I'm saying.
So listen, we just ranted for 20 minutes on how evil the Monkey King is, and at no point was there fun or jokes to be had. And so I want to ask a simple question here: why do you hate fun, Luciano?
I don't hate fun.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Not today.
Mm,
Today I'm okay with fun. It ebbs and
Today.
flows. Yeah.
what's ebbing real hard right now?
Okay,
What if to lighten the mood, we ask some fun questions?
I'd like that.
Fine,
More fun than
fine.
this film?
If you have
yeah.
to.
Yeah. Hey, how do you learn stickies?
Stickies?
Yeah, well, the stick had a language that the Monkey King and Lin could learn. I assume it's stickies.
It sounds like it's like some sort of Mongolian throat singing. That's what it sounds like he speaks.
Maybe.
How do you learn it? Let's see. How fast do we want this to derail?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a. Have you ever heard of Duolingo?
Okay. Do you think there's stickies in Duolingo?
First of all, the joke is the Rosetta Stones because they are supposedly a thing.
Well,
Okay.
And then it was an app to learn languages, and you missed it completely.
well, I'm not smart. So
That's not
that
smart,
sounds like a you
man.
problem.
I'm not smart, man.
Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Continue your well-timed joke. Duolingo. Yes, we've heard of Duolingo.
Well, Duolingo has stickies.
So how would one use Duolingo in 6th century China?
With the Rosetta stick.
What am I? What am I supposed to say? You download it on your fucking tablet. Get it?
Which in this case is,
It's
Stone.
made of stone.
yeah.
What's the
So-
deal with these stone tablets? They can't
So
even get
some
Wi-Fi.
guy named Duolingo comes by and taps out all the different words for
Yeah.
stickies on some tablets and gives it to you.
Yeah.
Ah, that joke sucked. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
That's
With
better than the joke I
old-timey
was gonna make,
tablets.
so.
Hey, Yama, the Demon King of Hell. He doesn't do a good job. One would argue he does an extremely bad job, and I'm
He
pretty
does
certain
the
he
worst
got
job.
fired. Yeah, he got fired because
Hard. He got fired hard.
because
from
he
that
doesn't
job.
just let them escape. He personally hands them their scrolls.
Yeah.
and tells them where to find the next thing that they need to find.
Yeah, yeah.
And also
just
the
points it out.
But also the scrolls he showed them, they had to find their names in a list of literally a list of every name in existence.
Right.
Yeah.
So they would have never found it. And then literally, I'm like, how are they actually going to find it? Is the stick going to be a fucking, like we always say, like the stick just is a MacGuffin that solves every problem?
Yeah.
The stick can vibrate when it's near. Put it in your butt and you'll feel it.
See, that's what I was gonna say. That's how you learn stickies.
I was,
But-
I was getting there. And then, but instead that he comes out and he has the two scrolls. He's like, "You'll never find these two scrolls here. There's no chance you'll ever find this thing in my hand."
Yeah.
There's no chance you'll ever find the immortality thing right over there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, he gets fired, presumably.
Hard for
And
sure.
so, and I'm pretty sure that, word spreads. So what job do you think he's able to get after this, after everybody hears how bad he failed at, being the king of hell?
I hear the DMV is hiring. He'd be at home there with the stamping and the denying and the making people wait.
That's fair.
He'd have experience with that.
what does DMV stand for in 6th century China?
Donkey motor vehicle. I don't know.
All right, that was better than I.
Fine.
That was halfway,
was-
almost a joke.
I'll give you a pass on that one.
Something.
Thank you.
Workshop it. Maybe don't use
Stands
it
for
as your...
Duolingo. Oh no, it's happening again.
Duolingo multivitamin. There.
Spencer, are you personally sponsored by Duolingo just to get it
No.
in so many times to the podcast?
No, Muy
Oh,
bien.
Chris isn't here, so we lost our Werther's
Our Werther sponsorship.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, back in that time. What's the worst job you have? I mean, it seems like those guys.
shoveling shit from a stable.
Yeah, but that's bad. But he'd probably be the guy in the Jade Palace who's just cooking the food. Because they're always making these banquet dinners, right? Remember that?
So not like
Okay.
the chef, not like the guy who gets to design the meals. He's
No,
just like
no.
a sous chef who just makes fucking
all
salad.
he does. No, all he does is cut onions. That's all he does.
Perfect.
And then holds the shit bowl for when
That
the
escalated quickly.
yeah. They don't have toilets.
But why does the shit bowl need to be held?
For not normally,
For
but when you're
punishment.
a god, you
Yeah.
expect these things.
It needs to be held for punishment. That's
Okay,
why.
I mean that's fair.
You think he's just gonna sit on a bowl that's on the ground like a peasant?
I don't think you sit in the bowl; you just hover over it.
No.
You squat is how they say.
No, and
Yeah, I think
when
that's
you're
the
a
word.
god, they hold you like a baby over a bowl.
This is going to take us in a direction
Nobody
I should
wants
know,
to go.
I should know better than to take us into. But as an immortal,
Oh,
do you
fuck.
have to
You're gonna
shit?
go there?
No, but you do it for pleasure.
You do for pleasure,
Of course. Why do you think he eats so much?
right?
He doesn't
But,
need
like-
sustenance.
But you made it sound like shitting is an option. This is like I'm going to eat for substance, but I'm not going to shit today.
No, he doesn't
And it's
eat
like,
for
no,
substance. He eats
I have to punish
he likes
Yama.
to, and he shits
Yeah, I
because
was
he
gonna
likes
say,
to.
That's the thing. It goes here. Normally I wouldn't shit, but we have to punish Yama. So bring out the bowl.
So hold the bowl.
Bring out the shitting bowl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you for that. That was helpful. We really cleared that up. Next question. The Monkey King does many fighting things. What would you say his specific fighting style is?
Monkey combat. Do, 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 do. That's the one. Oh no, he went there. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. I have to hand it. Okay. Okay.
I think we're done on that.
That's good enough.
We've
Yeah.
nailed it. We're gonna move on from that question because we cannot do any better. Hey, Buddha. Is Buddha the real villain of this movie?
100%. That's
Yeah,
like
Buddha-
it's not even a
yeah.
funny
I
question.
mean, it's true.
But it's just a valid question.
But that being said, even though the Monkey King is a giant cunt, Buddha is still worse.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'll just show my work.
All right. Yeah.
Go there.
So first things first, the Monkey King is born out of a rock, and I assume it's Buddha made that happen, but it's not said, so I won't blame him on this. So first he says, basically every time that they try to put out the fire that is the Monkey King, Buddha goes, let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him
Right?
cook. Yeah.
They're like, don't mess with him. He's
Let
got
him cook.
he's got to find his own way, right? That's basically what he says the whole time. Monkey King keeps fucking shit up. He's a complete asshole. He's got to find his own way. And then at the end, sure enough, he becomes a giant literal asshole and destroys look like the town, but maybe the world and all the
Yeah.
gods, and basically
Yeah.
brings some play on the apocalypse on all deities and humans and world alike. And
Right.
then Buddha,
When does this wrap around to Buddha is worse than that?
so Buddha,
Okay.
so Buddha lets all this happen, and maybe
Right.
even creates him. And the whole time he's saying he has to find his way. And then at the end, what does he do? He says, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to lock you away for 500 years so you can find your own way. That's not finding your own way. He could have done that from the beginning.
You forgot that he made a small child do his job for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then he outsourced his job to China.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, damn.
Not just to China, but to child
To
labor.
child
in China.
labor in China. That's the biggest
So-
reason.
Buddha is
Wow.
Apple, is what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Buddha is
So,
American
yeah,
capitalism.
Because you asked why is he worse than Monkey King? Monkey King is a cunt, but he's a cunt enabler. That's what he
Yes,
is.
which is worse because he
Yeah.
should know better. Monkey King is a what's the term? He's a creature of circumstance. You know, he's created without any family, without any loved
product-
ones.
A product of his circumstance, a product of his
The Monkey
environment.
King has free will. We don't need to go too far down
Of
this
course, but he is. It would be understandable to a degree for him to develop bad habits. Buddha's supposed to be an all-knowing God, and he creates this
Just
monster
doesn't give a
and doesn't
shit,
give a
clearly.
shit, and then fucking
Yeah.
just he's like he just fucking, like you said, he uses child labor to do his job, and then locks him away for 500 years. What an asshole!
So it was
Yeah.
the most accurate portrayal of gods in a children's movie ever.
For sure,
Yeah.
in any movie.
He almost brings out the apocalypse, and the Buddha just gives him a little timeout, basically.
Yeah, that's fair. He is
Yeah.
immortal. 500 years is.
But like,
nothing but a
did
thing.
Buddha know he was gonna almost bring the apocalypse? Was that his plan?
Probably not.
We'll never know.
Yeah. So yes, he is. To answer your question.
That's great. Next question. The stick. Let's be honest. The stick, like, isn't the stick the real hero?
It's fucking the best part of the movie. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Is the most competent thing in this movie for sure.
This movie should have been called The Stick,
The stick.
or
Yeah.
as The Simpsons, The Inanimate Carbon Rod, and The Monkey King.
Like in small letters, the Monkey King.
Yeah. It's like that's the subtitle. In Rod We Trust.
This isn't a porn flick, sir. Keep it
sorry.
PG.
But no, like the Rod was definitely the coolest part of the movie, but also like I'm not gendering this
Thank
stick.
you.
Nice.
They
Are you sure? It's a strong phallic instrument.
You know what? You're right. He like is like the voice of reason too. Like when the Monkey King's like being a dick, it's like he's like, oh, we should bring her along. She's chill.
Yeah, I guess in that case, but the stick also helps the Monkey King set the whole village on fire.
That's true. You know what? Fuck that rod.
I don't know. Like the Monkey King was nothing before he got his first part of immortality. He was basically nothing without the stick. When he was fighting the last demon, if it wasn't for the stick, he would have died from the fall. I think.
The fire demon, yeah.
Yeah.
But even when he fights the first demon before he gets the rod, what are we calling this? The staff, the stick.
The stick. That's how they call it there.
Yeah,
they call
they
it
call it the stick in the movie. Yeah, before he gets the stick, he fights the first demon
With coconuts?
With coconuts, and
gets
apparently
the
not
shit kicked in.
doesn't use his laser eyes
Yeah.
or his super strength, which he appeared to have.
Correct. No, don't use that.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't use any of that. He spends his entire adult. Going from age 2 to whatever, his entire growing
Childhood
years,
and
learning how to throw coconuts, which never comes up again. May I add, the most useless waste of time.
Yeah. No other training in that montage. Just chucking
Just
coconuts.
chucking coconuts, which he never. I thought he was definitely going to have some sort of throwing weapon, but no.
He throws like fur that becomes clones, but that's it.
Oh yeah, that was weird. And
He does that twice.
yeah,
All right, this is. I think
But
we've
yeah,
lost
sorry.
the thread on the stick here.
no, the stick though. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
The stick, you're right. We lost the thread.
We're gonna move on because we've lost the thread.
we're just leaving it. Okay,
We're gone.
We
It's
handled
fine.
it.
The train keeps on
we're
rolling.
just jogging right through.
Probably is the answer to that question. But this is a good segue because what are the Monkey King's powers?
Well, has the power to be a vicious cunt.
That's
Know
not
that.
a real power.
That's
No,
your
it's-
superpower, Luciano.
Yeah, that's how I know he has that power too.
Wow.
And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
So he's got
Thank you. I appreciate it.
some
it's good to
level
be
of
seen.
super. Listen, let's talk about the Monkey King, not Luciano's powers. I don't give a fuck with Luciano's powers.
Sounds
Monkey
about
King
right.
is super strong, apparently.
Yes,
And he shoots lasers, which have varying degrees of effectiveness.
sure,
He can jump very, very fast and very, very far.
right.
Almost
it's a-
flight.
It's like Superman flight.
Yeah.
Superman
but
flight.
not really because he can't really do it all the time.
Superman shouldn't be able to do it all the time. They just. Anyways, I'm not
Listen,
going
we're not
there.
talking about that either. Lightning makes him stronger. Is that always his ability, or was that just after?
Well, lightning didn't kill him. I can't say it made him stronger.
No, it did make him
No,
stronger.
it,
That was how
it
she
makes
tricked
him
him.
grow. It makes him grow. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, whatever, man.
It
And-
does-
but
what do
I
you mean?
think that
Don't
only-
act like I'm making that up. That's
I
in the
think
movie.
that only happens after he becomes like fully immortal.
They don't show it ever. He just does it and it happens.
No, she
That's
shoots
why-
him with lightning, and then he grows, and she's like, "The lightning made you more powerful." And at the end, she's like, "His weakness is lightning to trick
Wang
the
Mu
bad
you're
guy."
talking about.
Yeah, but then at the end, the girl Lynn says to the bad guy,
Yeah.
That was the whole finale. Did you even watch this movie? I'm saying
No,
it this time.
I did.
Did you watch this movie, man?
I think I was just high the entire time.
Good
That's fair.
decision.
All
I have
right,
to say.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, like
Okay,
I
So
don't
lightning
understand
makes
the
him grow.
laser. The laser
That's not a
eyes. I don't
power.
understand. Yeah, it's not really.
I mean, it kind of. Does
What-
lightning
how
make
would you
you
describe
grow?
the power? No, but how would you describe that as a power?
Lightning absorption.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go. There's the power.
Okay.
You're welcome. He also has the laser eyes that work in weird ways because in the beginning he shoots it and nothing happens, and then at the end he shoots it and cuts the heavenly castle palace in half.
Yeah, Spencer said that pretty much word for word, but you need a
whatever.
chance to talk.
I don't
get in
pay
there.
attention to what.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
We needed you to have some dialogue in the scene, to validate you coming on set. So thank you. He clones himself.
That's true.
Cloning technology.
Technology.
I don't know what you said. The power. We have to say it as an ability.
Yeah.
Cloning is fine.
Yeah.
Clonology.
No,
It's
please stop
It's like
talking.
the study of cloning. That's not a power.
Clonokinesis.
That's just
Moving
moving
clones with your mind.
No, it doesn't say anything about
I think
the
I
mind.
have
It's
that
just
power.
moving.
Yeah, that's right.
I
It's
have-
just moving.
No, I think I have that. But I can move clones with my mind. I've never seen one to verify it. But there's
You're
a chance.
moving them away from you at all times.
Yeah. I'm clonokinetic. Is that it? Does he? I think he had other. Was there
Did he?
another power?
No, for most of the things he does because the stick is there.
Oh, he
Yeah.
He can
can.
go to hell because of the stick.
He can.
Fly because of the stick.
Correct.
When he went to space, was that because
had
of the
the stick.
stick?
Yeah.
Well, technically, he didn't go to space.
But
Well,
technically
he did, but he
did.
didn't, right?
Yeah.
Because
I don't know
Buddha's
if that's-
everywhere.
He
but-
can.
That's not a power. That's just
He can hold
Buddha
his
mind
breath
fucking him.
for years.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just immortality, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right there.
And it's. I mean, immortality is a power he gains. Obviously.
He has a
Not being
prehensile tail.
All right, we're done here.
I mean,
Luciano, do you have anything you want to add, or did Spencer's run-on soliloquy knock it all out?
I don't know because I didn't pay attention to what he said, but I'll assume
Perfect.
he did. Yeah.
We're gonna move on.
chugging along, just moving this train. And Matt's just like, good for you, or I'm sorry to hear that. I was too long. I didn't
Yeah,
listen.
I read all of that.
Sorry for you, man, or good for you, or
Or
whatever.
good for you. Yeah.
Good for you. Or I'm sorry to hear
I'm
that.
happy to hear it or sorry.
What are we gonna do here? Oh, this is actually it's a curiosity of mine, honestly. The elixir we talked about the elixir to make
Become immortal,
you fully immortal, not
Right.
just old age, but all the other shit.
Yeah.
But I got to assume those gods have a way to send you back, right? Make you mortal. What or how would elixir of mortality be built?
Elixir of mortality.
Mortality.
Like, you got to assume Red Bull's in there.
It's the base.
It's
It's
just
the
a
base.
Red Bull Jaeger. Jaeger bomb.
Oh,
Just
no.
a straight up Jaeger bomb. This shit will fuck you up.
Oh,
Fucking
God.
bring you down to earth real quick.
My brain actually conjured the flavor of a
I
Jaeger
know,
bomb
me
inside
too.
Red Bull. That was disgusting.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good, actually.
Yes, I like I don't mind it either. I like the Red Bull. I mean, mortality? I assume there'd be some blood in there
Why?
because blood is a symbol of mortality.
Okay.
In what culture? Chinese culture?
Yeah. Let's
I've-
ask Spencer,
yes.
the Chinese
Yes.
culture expert.
I said yes. Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Thank
Do
you,
not,
doctor.
I request
Thank
no
you, doc.
follow-up
Thank you.
questions.
Thank you, Professor.
I've requested no follow-up questions. Moving on.
All right, so what you're telling me is Red Bull makes a very secretive blood flavored Red Bull
Yes.
for use in mortality Jaeger bombs.
I believe I said the question time period has passed, and
No further comments.
No further comments.
What else goes in there? You gotta put some stuff that represents mortal life.
Vaccinations.
Oh God, he's coming out of the fucking van again.
No one called you. No one wants you.
Sorry, it's your turn. It's your turn. Luciano, what do you got?
I was gonna say, like depression, a spoonful of depression.
Oh, yeah. I guess it does.
Holy shit!
Wow, that took a turn.
A whole spoonful. The last one had like a dash.
It's like a spoonful of depression. A drop of anxiety.
Oh wow! They said to make you mortal, not to make you fucking sick.
It's an elixir of mortality. It should make you want to die.
What else is mortal than anxiety and depression?
Yeah, you know what? I tip my cap to you. You know what? Anxiety and depression's a better answer than Red Bull and blood.
I think we can get it all in there. It's put
it all together. Yeah,
a dash of Jaeger, a pinch of blood, a splash of Red Bull,
and a whole spoonful of depression. Just fill that bottle.
And a pinch of anxiety.
Just a little spice.
Just a pinch.
Salt Bay of anxiety.
You salt the rim with anxiety.
Yeah.
and instead of instant karma, which is in the immortality one, just a pinch of instant.
Hey, you know what, man?
I don't know.
No, we had it. I
don't
know.
We're too close to the sun, man. We had it.
You had it.
I'm
you nailed it,
Icarus.
and you just.
I had to fuck it. It's what I do.
Yeah.
I take the joke too far, and then it becomes an unjoke.
Moving on. We're just keeping it going.
Just
keep the train on the track.
Choo,
motherfucker. I think really now I just want to know. Let's do the rankings. Let's use our ranking system. We're going S tier ranking system. S is the highest. F is the lowest. Feel free to put in F if you so choose.
That's not a recommendation.
Wow.
I didn't say anything.
Holy shit. That's a leading question, Your Honor.
We're just chugging through.
Sorry, choo-choo. He's right every time.
We're going. Let's go, Luciano.
Okay. So this was a very thin excuse for a movie. It was like, honestly, before our conversation, I was more fine with it than I am now.
That always happens in every episode.
And like there were a couple of good, like, the animation is decent. It's not amazing. It's good. I liked the soundtrack, and I liked the cast. Actually, all of the cast was good. No complaints there. But yeah, the story is kind of not the story itself, but like the way that they presented the story it was like okay, but then the main character is a piece of shit. What do we call him? A raging cunt? Is that the final? Okay. And like because of that, from the middle of the movie onward, it becomes sort of like nonsensical. So before we started this conversation, I was gonna give it a C, but I have to give it a D now because it's just like it's not the worst. Like, I didn't hate myself for watching it like I did with like Morbius. Yeah, but it's not good. Like, I wouldn't want to watch it again at all. So it's a D for me.
Harsh, but too high. Spencer.
I mean, I think the best the word you were looking for, Luciano, with the main character is about halfway through the main character becomes quite grating. He really.
Yes, that's what I said. A cunt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Sorry, I misheard you. Like this movie is fine. Like I'm not the demo for this movie. I don't really watch animated like kids movies because I'm fucking adult. But it was fine.
You have a child, right? Like,
yeah, I watched it with my son, and he seemed to like it. He probably would have.
That a movie made for children, like the best ones, have something in there for the parents, right?
Yeah, I mean, I liked some of the action sequences, and there were the odd joke here and there that I did think was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Most of them weren't, though. I just, this movie just gave me a dash of depression, as we say.
Nice. Got him.
Keeping you mortal.
But yeah, to be real, yeah, the voice acting, whatever's fine. The animation was pretty good, but sometimes looked pretty like cheap at times.
Yeah,
like, I thought sometimes it looked like, you could tell it's not like a Pixar like top high quality animation, but
yeah,
but like art wise, it was cool at times, and whatever. I was gonna give it an E, but I don't think it's that bad. I think I just didn't like it because it's not for me. So I'm gonna give it a D.
You're a coward.
That's what I think. I think it's if I were like, I'll tell you right now, my son probably gave it an S. You know,
Sure.
So
Or monkey.
yeah, like I had a monkey.
S for monkey.
It just,
S for monkey.
Yeah, S for monkey. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Nice.
His first words.
S poor monkey.
S poor monkey. So yeah, again, it's not for me. So I give it a D. That's all.
That's it.
Yeah, I know. I said that like I was going to keep going, but I had nothing else. I give it a D.
So you're not wrong. The animation and style is fine. There's a couple of spots where it's interesting animation. Here's where I'm giving it an E. I don't know when I would ever watch this on my own. I would never have watched it on my own if we didn't watch it for this show. Not watching it with my daughter, the movie was a convoluted jumps hellscape of clips strung together for reasons. The main character was not enough of a real character to have real character development. So everything they did was to appease a child, and I am not a child, and therefore arguably not a child. But it's dumb, it's stupid, it's annoying, and like the acting was fine, but just the story was so like grating and irritating that I would never recommend to a parent to watch this on their own. There are so many better movies for kids and for their parents, in my estimation, than this one. I know a lot of people like it, and it tells the proverb or the folklore of the Chinese folklore in an interesting way. It's just the children's format makes it suck.
Yeah, like I will say,
because I'm an adult.
Just to add to that, like we said at the beginning, me and Matt, I don't know if Luciano agreed, but we both thought it was like breakneck pacing and like the quickest cutting and stuff. But I wanted to say, like, I watched this as well with my nephew's in town, and he's a 15-year-old who is on TikTok for like he'll sit on TikTok for 3 hours. And I was like, oh, this movie, man. I'm like, I paused it halfway through. I'm like, this is tough. He's like, I like it. And I was like, really?
God damn it.
And I think that pace is like good for, like, that's the pace their brains go at now.
It's the way to keep like a 15-year-old engaged with the movie.
Yeah.
It's like string, like you said, like 115 TikToks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like. It felt like, like, especially the first half for me, it just felt like a blur.
It's a blur.
Yeah, like a blur of short clips. So I think that appeals to the new youth. I'm an old man.
For me, it makes me like not want to pay attention to it. That's what
it hurts my brain.
Well, you know what?
It hurts my brain, Mom.
I just feel shitty because now I've become an old man who doesn't like
you've become an old man, right?
Right now.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I can't see things that are close up to me anymore. The fact that I'm like, the kids, things are too fast, and I'm scared. And I'm uncomfortable.
Kids and their fast TV.
I'm scared.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
I'm giving it an E for I'm scared.
It's scared.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. Don't worry though. Next week we're gonna watch a completely different movie.
Back in my day, movies were slow.
Hopefully, move on from this and talk about the movie for next week. We are watching The Outlaw Johnny Black. It is. I can only describe it as the Michael Jai White vehicle. Let me, listeners, if you don't know what this is, it came out in 2023 on Netflix, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Sorry, no, Prime. It looks like. Not
Oh,
Netflix.
is it Prime? Okay.
I think it's a Prime joint. Hell bent on avenging the death of his father, Johnny Black vows to gun down Brett Clayton and become a wanted man in the process while posing as a preacher in a small mining town that's taken over by a notorious land baron. That was one sentence. I didn't write it. IMDb has it.
Hopefully the person who wrote the script, it wasn't the person who wrote the synopsis.
Blurb, yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen in this movie, but we're watching it next week.
It's all going to be in one sentence.
It's all just going to be talking.
The whole script.
The whole movie. It is a Western action film, so hopefully that will do us well.
We're due for a good movie.
Well,
like last couple of ones, I was gonna say the last like 5 or so have been kind of turds.
No, the Creator was pretty good.
yeah.
No, it was not.
Well, it's fine.
It was pretty good.
This one will be the one after this one will be good.
Sure, just keep telling yourself that.
It's possible.
We'll be right one day.
Yeah. All right, we will see all of you next week to watch or talk about The Outlaw Johnny Black.
Monkey Combat!